Welcome once again to Breakfast Central, and now for my favorite part, because I get to talk about Manchester United and drink as much of Arsenal tears as I can. It's time to get into sports, and this morning we have Onye joining us. Good morning, Onye.
Good morning, Osa. Good morning, Olive.
It's been a while.
We've missed you. Welcome back.
Good to have you back.
It's good to be back, bringing you exciting news in the world of sports. Yes, Manchester United really made their fans proud. Of course, Osa, you'll be blushing right now. But you had to do damage to be happy. Just look at Osa, Olive.
I can see how excited he is. In fact, when the match was happening yesterday, he could barely breathe because he was worried.
I stood all through the game.
Yes, but I mean, it was a fantastic outing for them. And it just shows you how easily people switch. All of a sudden, people who have been vilifying Manchester United are all fans of Manchester United again.
Okay, joy for one, but a bit of sorrow for another. But let's take you deep into the world of sport right now. We'll be starting from the world of boxing, and it's looking good for South Africa's Sivanathi Noshinga. He rode an early knockdown and a late momentum shift all the way to the finish line to come up huge on the road to the fight of the year contender. Noshinga dropped Flores in round 2, but Flores battled his way back with a non-stop punching. Flores suffered a cut on his forehead from the head clash, but he bled profusely over the second half of the fight there. But at the end of the 12th round, judges had to go in favor of South Africa's Noshinga, of course, having to judge them 116 to 111, 114 to 113 in favor of Noshinga, and one judge judged in favor of Flores, 115 to 112. Now, with that split decision win, South Africa's Sivanathi Noshinga has become the first and only current world champion from South Africa. Moving away from that is looking so good in the world of athletics for Nigeria's Tobi Amusan. She's back to winning ways. She bridged through any win in the women's 100 meters hurdles at the ISATF Berlin, winning by 1/10 over her closest challenger. Amusan clocked 12.45 seconds, a minus 3 seconds, with Tina Jones from USA, who came in second with 12.58 seconds, and Megan Taper from Jamaica coming in third with 12.66 seconds. Her compatriot Ese Brume finished second in the women's long jump at the Berlin meet, as Brume jumped 6.78 meters to finish behind Malaika Mihambo from Germany, who won the event leaping by 6.92 meters. Another African was in action. Of course, it is Africa's fastest man from Kenya, Ferdinand Omanyala. He finished second in the men's 100 meters behind Noah Lyles of USA. So it was looking good for Africans in the world of athletics. But we cannot talk about sport without going to the world of football. And we've got exciting action in Europe's top 5 leagues, but we will have our focus on the English Premier League today. Yes, Sunday's fixture in the Premier League saw Nigeria's duel of Wilfred Ndidi and Kelechi Iheanacho, and also Zambia's Patson Daka. They suffered a huge defeat in the hands of Dakar's compatriot Inokuwepu's Brighton and Hove Albion. They continued their road to a magnificent start in the new season as they came from behind to register a 5-2 win over rock-bottom Leicester City. In the other game for the EPL, Manchester United's new boy Anthony, he scored on his debut, and Marcus Rashford had to garnish the whole scoring spree as Eric Ten Hag's his men ended Arsenal's 100% start to the season at the Old Trafford. So Mikel Arteta's team had won their opening 5 Premier League matches, but United halted Arsenal's perfect start to record a 4th successive victory after their initial struggle to the season. And to join us in that conversation in the world of football would be football commentator Bolu Omoni from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Sports this morning.
Good morning. Good to be here again on this.
All right, we're talking about some team having to spoil the party, bring some party spoils to Arsenal. But in that game I saw yesterday, Arsenal for first 65 minutes or so, they dominated. So far, they were the better team, and it feels that they did not do enough to punish United in that game. But Arsenal got caught in the break too easily in the second and the third goals coming from Manchester United. Do you think the triple substitution for Mikel Arteta somehow imbalanced Arsenal team?
Well, first of all, one thing I tell people is I love Pep Guardiola's style, tiki-taka and everything, but the only way to play football is to win, irrespective of your style, game pressing, counter-attack, tiki-taka, just win, and that's what Man United did. I feel or felt what Arteta did was, I'd rather give everything I can, and still lose than not to try to lose. When they were a goal down 2-1, it felt like United were going to run away with this. I felt it was desperate with those changes. It felt like he just threw everything called caution out of the window. He was so desperate to win. He had to send Martinelli to left back, change the dynamics of the game, and they conceded. But again, you have to give good credit to Man United. They knew what they needed to do. It went back to the Wenger versus Fergie days. You know you cannot outplay them, but sit back, play smart, and score where you needed to do. And that's exactly what Man United did. People will not remember Arsenal had more possession. People will definitely remember Man United won that game 3-1.
Okay, so United had to hand Arsenal their first defeat in the season. They've been having a perfect start in that season. So they say that's the reason why they're called the Red Devils. That's on the side. But does this change anything in Arsenal's campaign so far? We have still got some games remaining. So does this change anything in Arsenal's campaign?
Well, how they bounce back will be very, very key. Sometimes when you're on a brilliant run, when you lose a game, you need to find a way to bounce back. Because if you drop points in your next game, it could affect the psyche of the players. They have some guys injured, the likes of Ghana's Thomas Partey. They need these guys back. They need them fit. When everyone is back to fit, and maybe Arsenal can get back to that. They may not go on another run, but I think they'll still do well in terms of form. But how they bounce back will be very important. Let's see what happens when they take to the field for their Europa League game this midweek. If they win the game, maybe it could spur them back to winning games in the Premier League. United are on the rise. I still don't think Arsenal are that bad. Like I said earlier, they played well yesterday. They just couldn't take their chances. And it's when you score that you win the game. So how they bounce back, how they recover from this loss will be very, very important. If they fail to win their next game, remember most of these guys are still very young. It may affect their psyche. So let's see what happens when they take to the field.
Okay, we're going to talk about Manchester United and Arsenal and not bring in Leicester City. Leicester City are on the bottom of the Premier League table. Oh, that's so big pressure for Brendan Rodgers. So Graham Potter's Brighton and Hove Albion side, they moved into the top 4 where they will stay until next week so they can relish that top 4 spot. But for Leicester City, their 5th defeat of the season and they remain rooted bottom of the table. How pressured is Brendan Rodgers at this time, Bolu?
Well, when you start hearing club owners telling you we support the manager, we are backing him, just get ready that the sack is coming. 5 straight losses, I think that's not what you expect from it. Seemed like Leicester City. Just 6 years ago, they won the Premier League. Now they have 1 point in 6. They need to bounce back. Yes, many of us are happy Kelechi and just got the fastest goal so far this season. But Ndaka also got the goal. Yes, for Africans, we will be excited. But for the club as a whole, I'm sure they will take 1-0. To that loss. So they need to recover, they need to bounce back. Brendan Rodgers needs to find this. He needs that solution yesterday because if they drop points again in the next match, he may be the next manager to bite the dust in the English Premier League. He's been here before, he's done that with Liverpool, and also he needs to bounce back. He needs to. I'm sure they are not even thinking about making top 4 now. Just recover, start winning, and maybe make top half. From there, they can start thinking of what to do. But I think he's under immense pressure and he needs answers yesterday.
Okay, nobody would have thought that former Premier League champions Leicester City would be at the bottom of the table. That's relegation zone. But let's move away from the English Premier League and go right now to the Serie A. The same thing happening to Leicester City is happening to Juve, but they are not on the bottom of the table. So what is Juve not doing? It's becoming a talking point at this time. Massimiliano Allegri, his side there, they've got to do a lot. In the game that he played against Fiorentina, we saw that he had to rest Dusan, his new boy, that would have brought a change to what they experienced in their game against Fiorentina. They made no shot on target. The only one that came was in the 28th minute. At this time, what do you think about Massimiliano Allegri's tactics in that Juve game?
Well, this is a few times I don't like being in the position of the manager because how can you win about 19 straight league titles? Now you're struggling 2 years. Remember last season, they narrowly made it to the top of the table. Not top as in winning the league, the top half, top 4. Now they are struggling. They've drawn 2-3 games. And the season is still very, very fresh. Allegri needs answers. One of the reasons they brought him back was because he's been here before. He's done that. He won the league titles with them. Now they need him to. I'm sure Juventus just want to get back to the top. And this type of result, you can say, yes, they've dropped points against top oppositions. But even the bottom oppositions, they are not dominant. Juventus, we know, it's not all about if they win their games. It's always about how many goals will they score. Now they are dropping points, not having enough shots on target. Even when they do, they still end up drawing those games. Allegri needs his answers. He needs his Vlahovic and co to start scoring much more. I think he needs to work more on the midfield core. They don't hold possession enough. They don't dominate games enough.
Okay.
And you cannot win games if your midfield is dead. So first off, I think he needs to find a solution to that midfield.
Okay, of course. Bolu, they say there are three categories of managers: those still on the job, those waiting to be sacked, and those that have been sacked. We'll wait and see if Allegri will not join these, or even Brendan Rodgers joining this. Thank you so much, Bolu, for your analysis on the show today. We appreciate them.
It's a pleasure being around.
All right, football action will still continue. We can't wait to see what will happen. Leicester City still sit bottom of the Premier League standing, and we're waiting for the miracle to happen for Brendan Rodgers. Now, of course, sport update at this time. Back to you, Osa. Back to you, Olive.
All right, thank you very much. Very interesting analysis there. And of course, we'll be seeing
Because
you
it's
much
in your
later.
favor, right?
Thanks very much.
Thank you.